Podcast.
Well, hello, welcome to the Confident Live Marketing Show. This is, gonna just check, it is the 8th bonus edition as we run up to the 200th episode of the Confident Live Marketing Show and the 4th year anniversary. I'm going back into the archives, delving in to see some of the best moments. And today we're going to be talking about LinkedIn. I've got Louise Brogan, an interview I did with her. Louise is one of the people I go to if I have any LinkedIn questions. She is amazing. You need to definitely check out her. And we're also going to be revisiting another interview I had with my friend Amy Woods from Content 10x, because some of the things that they do at Content 10x, they help you repurpose content, and we're going to be talking about LinkedIn Live and LinkedIn generally as well with that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that, and yes, hopefully it's going to go okay today. But the kids are off school today. It's holiday time, and they've been doing a lot of stuff downstairs. So if there's any kind of yelling or anything like that in the background, hopefully you can forgive that. But that's the beauty of live. Even though what I'm doing with these shows at the moment, I'm not actually broadcasting this live. This is pre-recorded and then I'm broadcasting it out live. I will be going back to the live shows when we do episode 200 and beyond. But I'm just trying a few new things. And just before I get on with the interviews, going back into the archives, I just wanted to share something I've been thinking about recently, which is sometimes we can follow or try and follow our strategy too much and forget about our curiosity. So I'll say that again. Sometimes we can follow our strategy too much and not follow our curiosity. And I think that has perhaps been something that I've fallen into recently in the last few years. I've been so focused on having a solid strategy, being consistent with everything, and not always following where my curiosity takes me. Now, I have done that to a degree, but I think one of the things I wanted to do this year is follow where my curiosity takes me. And at the moment, that is, I'm looking at how AI can really help with that, but things like the metaverse, but other things as well. I'm trying to see what the future could hold and what we should be talking about on this show. The other thing that really fascinates me are people's stories, particularly confidence stories. And so if you have a story, if you have in the past really struggled with confidence, it could be confidence in front of the camera, but it could be just more generally to do with your business, confidence in finding out who you are and embracing that, then I would love to hear from you, because as I do episode 201 and beyond, my thinking is that we're going to be focusing a little bit more on that. I will still talk about live video, but I think we're going to be going and focusing a little bit more on confidence stories. So let me know what you think about that. I'm just mulling that over at the moment, but that's my thinking. Anyway, let's go back into the archives, and I want to go back to Louise Brogan. Now, Louise, great friend of mine, she knows her stuff when it comes to LinkedIn, and I've been really inspired by her journey, the way she has just doubled down on helping businesses with LinkedIn. She's doing amazing work there, so you need to follow her. But she knows her stuff. And so I asked her about how we can use video and overall strategy on LinkedIn. And here is what she said. What would be your top LinkedIn video tips? I think you shared a lot, but are there any other tips that you could share with us that we could think about implementing when it comes to LinkedIn Live or LinkedIn video?
Yeah, we did talk a little bit about, you said about people like really like to get the tech and everything organized. I think that you do want to show up a bit more professionally on LinkedIn, because it is the B2B networking site. I have the microphone and the webcam and the ring light. You don't need to go that far, but having a decent microphone and a camera, prepping what you want to say in advance and having a strategy behind it. But also, if you're going to show up on video and go live, be consistent with it. I have got friends who are going live like every day for a week, and I'm thinking, what's the purpose of this? Are you going to do this for a week and then disappear for a month? What's the strategy behind it? But also when I do my LinkedIn lives as well, Ian, I use StreamYard, and then it was actually you gave me this tip that I have the paid version. So it goes live to YouTube and LinkedIn Live, but afterwards I can download it and do other things with it.
Great stuff from there from Louise. And she says, on LinkedIn particularly, it needs to be professional. So you could use your phone, but I think leveling things up a little bit more, and it doesn't have to be complicated. Louise's setup is not complicated. Yes, she has a ring light. She has a camera, obviously a decent microphone. I also think the framing helps as well on the screen. So just do some testing and use an app like StreamYard is a great tool. It's not complicated. It's simple. There are other tools out there. I use Ecamm Live. Massive fan of that. But yeah, professional. Keep things simple. Now, it's interesting what she said about strategy and consistency, because in a sense that kind of goes against what I was saying before. And I wanted to clarify that. I'm not against having strategy. Absolutely, you should have a strategy. But I think following on from what I said before about following your curiosity, I think the issue here can be is how agile are you? Is your strategy so set in stone that you can't then move it and budge it? I think you need to have the strategy, but it needs to be flexible, and you need to be able to build into that the ability to follow where your curiosity takes you. So I think Louise would agree with me on that one. So what are your thoughts? I'd love to know what you think about this. Are you using LinkedIn? Are you using LinkedIn Live? Are you using LinkedIn Video? What is your strategy? And what are you interested in? Because if you're interested in the thing, then I think your audience will be too. Well, let's go over to my interview with Amy Woods. Now, Amy runs a company called Content 10X. She lives kind of just down the road from me. She lives in the next kind of village along. And I met Amy Woods quite a few years ago when she was thinking of setting up Content 10X, and she was looking at going over to social media marketing world. We got on really well, loved the idea, and I've been, again, really inspired really by Amy and the way she's grown her business. And she has kind of pivoted and developed her business. One of her core businesses, and I assume this is still the case, is LinkedIn 10X. So it's starting off your content on LinkedIn, ideally with a live video, because there's lots of advantages with that, but then it's repurposing that live video into, say, a podcast, into blog posts, into social media snippets. And if you're like a lot of corporate leaders or business owners or entrepreneurs, you're going to have limited time. And there's things that I teach on this channel to help you with that repurposing. But what Amy's company, Content 10X, does is they basically do it for you. So if you're struggling with the time, do check out content10x.com. But I asked Amy a little bit more about how she would recommend that we use LinkedIn. Why are you focusing on LinkedIn with this whole LinkedIn 10X thing? Because I know you've been focusing on live video and other things, but why LinkedIn? And why should we be considering LinkedIn more?
Yeah, so you're right. We've really gone down, focus on LinkedIn, and we have a service called LinkedIn 10X, which is really now our signature service and what we're mainly marketing and working on at the moment. And I guess the reason is I did a kind of review of everything around the 3-year point of what we've been doing with our clients, our biggest success stories, what really works, and what we're trying to achieve. And we're trying to help people become a leading authority in their industry, become known, so that they can ultimately use their content and that expertise that they're sharing widely to grow the business basically, and to make everything easier, make us come to them, get more speaking engagements, make this sale easier because their expertise is proven through the content, and so much more. And in looking at that, we're looking at who have we seen, what platforms have worked the best for business growth through content, and it just was LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is the platform that we see make the biggest difference in terms of when you start to take off and become the authority on LinkedIn. That's when your business starts to grow, when actual impacts your ROI. So it's not to say to slate other platforms like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, etc. But if you are on LinkedIn and your clients are on LinkedIn and you establish leadership and authority, and people know who you are and what you do and what problem you solve through your content on LinkedIn, that's where we see it sounds so cliche, but the needle moving people's businesses. So we decided that we wanted to have more of a LinkedIn focus, number one. Number two, video is always the best form of content to repurpose, as we're talking about now, and talking about all the ways you can slice and dice it into other video content and text content and blog and podcast, etc. We decided to focus on LinkedIn and LinkedIn video, but then secondly, podcasts as well. So always repurposing the videos into podcasts, because again, stepping back, what helps people really become recognized and leading authority? And there's no doubt that through having a podcast, that makes a big impact as well. And then SEO too. So through the power of LinkedIn, through the power of video content as the core content repurposed, the power of podcasting, and then SEO through turning all of that into really well-written blog posts to go on websites, and also a YouTube video from the main video. Everything combines together to just really provide that great set of content every week for people to just massively expand their authority on the platform that we see have the biggest impact for actual revenue growth and business growth. So yeah, that's why. I mean, every asset that we create that can go on LinkedIn can of course go on other platforms. So those teasers, those graphics, etc., of course they can go on Facebook and Instagram, etc. too. But we're doing a big focus on that, combining LinkedIn video with repurposing, and it's going really well, and we're really pumped about it, to be honest. Actually, it's probably the most exciting thing that we've done as a business this year.
Awesome. Well, I know Emmy is still doing that at Content 10x, so do check out content10x.com. And LinkedIn is going to be where I'm focusing my efforts. I've been kind of meaning to do this, or wanting to do this for years, and for whatever reason, LinkedIn has just not floated my boat. But things have changed. If you haven't gone on LinkedIn in recent months or years, then do check it out, because it's a great place to be. There's some great conversations that are going on there, great connections. It's where business is done. And although, yes, there's definitely a place for Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and all these other places, LinkedIn is definitely where I'm going to be focusing a lot more of my efforts. And LinkedIn Live is not going away. It's not as popular as it used to be, but it's a great place once you start to grow your audience to get those conversations going, but also a great place to start your content and then repurpose it into other places. So do check out LinkedIn. Connect with me on LinkedIn. I'd love to speak to you there. Well, we're out of time. As always, these things go really, really quickly. I'm trying to keep these bonus episodes nice and short, just to give you those little nuggets, golden nuggets from the archives. But we'll be back next week with another fantastic bonus episode of the Confident Live Marketing Show. I'll see you there. But until next time, I encourage you to level up your impacts, authority, and profits through the power of Confident Live Video. See you soon. Bye.
Thanks for watching the Confident Live Marketing Show with Ian Anderson Gray.
Make sure you subscribe at iag.me/podcast so you can continue to level up your impact, authority, and profits through the power of live video.
And until next time,
Toodaloo.